Hello, everybody. So this is Yokai Buster Ruka no Daibouken. I am DeByrdman. I am joined by our host Dave.
Yes, and I will be actually talking now because I was still muted and nobody heard what I just said, but that actually worked out well because it sounds like I didn't say anything yet.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like I just repeated the exact same thing you said.
Nope. So
what's up? Hello, Shawnee. Hello, Epic. Hello, everybody. Hello, Johnny. Forza. Everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. I only did a practice run yesterday, so I'm hoping everything goes smoothly today during this run. Ideally, I'll be underestimate, but we'll see. I just jinxed myself, but we'll see how things go. So, if you read the description right before the screen, this is Yokai Buster Ruka no Daibouken. Originally released in America as the Jetsons Invasion of the Planet Pirates. When they ported it over to Japan, they wanted it to match a Japanese gaming magazine's mascot. So they reworked the whole game into this. I would say this is the definitive way to play this game. There's a little improvements. It's not just a simple sprite swap. The run is better. There's no auto-scrollers. The Jetsons has like 2 really long auto-scrollers. In this game, they reworked it in a little mini-game that's outside the main story, so you don't even have to worry about that. And this run is on hard. The reason why I run hard percent is because that's the run that Dave ran 5+ years ago, and I wanted to steal the free world record. And I ended up routing this game and really enjoying it. This is one of my favorite SNES games at this point. I love playing this game. It started off as a joke, but I ended up loving it.
yeah, no, it's actually surprisingly really good. So yeah, I guess.
So
Sorry, you go.
The only thing I want to mention right before the start of the run, there is a frame perfect trick at the very start. All the interesting things happen in the first stage. So what I'm going to do is a series of a couple jumps, throw a watermelon, hopefully it hits the farthest wall and spawns a power-up. I'll explain the power-ups as we go, but the initial start of the run is going to be me throwing a watermelon at a wall and hopefully hitting the correct wall at the correct frame to spawn a power-up. Even if I do it correctly, I technically could just get some random point food thing instead of the power-up. So hopefully it goes smoothly.
So on that note, we can explain this horrible strat that Bird just kind of described. It comes from me. I was like watching him one day. He's like, I wonder if there's a way that I can get like a power up before. So then I literally tasked it down to the frame. I'm like, oh, if you throw this watermelon on this exact line, on this exact frame, right at the very beginning of the game, and it smashes the wall, it actually does produce a power up. So Bird actually made it RTA, which was really cool.
It all happened in the same stream too. I was doing world record attempts, and Dave was like, "Oh, I figured it out and passed. If you want to try to attempt it," so I learned it there midstream and just incorporated it into the world record that same day. It is not the most difficult thing to do. Yesterday when I was doing it, I didn't really get the rhythm down. Maybe getting it 1 out of 10 times. It's not the end of the world if I don't get it, but I'm hoping I start the run on a positive note.
Okay. Well,
So with that said,
good whenever you're good.
alrighty, I'll count down from 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 3, 2.
I paused.
I
We're gonna jump over this first enemy.
Alright, did we get it?
Yo, we got it.
We got it. There you go. The run is
So
blessed.
the reason why we need that power up is with 1 additional power, we could do 2 damage to the boss as opposed to 1 per watermelon throw. So it just speeds up the first boss tremendously.
So, while Bird's just going through the first level really is kind of like reset hell. Epic kind of mentioned that in the chat. And the reason is because we actually found like a really old Japanese task video a long time ago. And it is very optimized considering like nobody runs this game. And Bird's going to be attempting to try to clip through, I guess, like 2 of these sections right here using the watermelon. You have limited chances to do it because the watermelon will eventually disappear. So we'll see. Oh man!
You got it barely before it despawned.
There you go. So that's one of the 2 clips, and then the second one here actually just sends you right to the boss. So that's why that power-up was like super important, because if you skip the level like this, you don't actually power up the character. So now we're powered up for the boss, which was why that frame perfect at the beginning was actually super important.
And interesting about this boss is he's the only boss that can one-shot you. If I get too close, he will grab me and just instantly kill Ruka. We don't want that to happen. And he's dead. And we want him to jump from side to side. If he jumps in the middle, he doesn't spawn watermelons, which slows down the fight tremendously.
This next stage, in my opinion, has probably one of the better kind of like Super Nintendo soundtracks. Like, I love this stage's music a lot. And then this is one of those rare moments in speedruns because you don't always get the luxury of having like really good music on a really good platforming stage. But I think this is also probably the most fun kind of platforming aspect in this entire run too. Because you have these wheels that are suspended in the middle of the air where you can fall very easily, which sounds like a recipe for disaster, but it actually controls extremely well and it's a very fun stage.
Yeah, it's very tight and satisfying in this stage. This is my favorite stage to play.
Same, I would agree with that. It is probably the most fun actually to optimize. So. There is actually a really weird soft lock in this stage too. You can like slide yourself under the stairs and then you can't get out. So I remember that. Luckily we don't see that. So none of the enemies are RNG. So you'll kind of see like Bird like throw stuff in advance where he'll hit an enemy and stuff like that. Like not even on screen yet. And yeah, this is probably one of my favorite parts. You can dodge this. We'll see if Bird can get a pretty tight skip here. It's really, there you go. It's really kind of awkward to like jump around that enemy. And ideally he wanted to get hit by that enemy and land back on the ledge, but that's okay. That was still
pick up a safety heart there as well.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you, because the boss coming up, you can explain if you want, but this boss is probably one of the more annoying ones, honestly. Like, I guess
it's hard to avoid the attacks. It's not too bad, but I can just mess it up. I want to hit both enemies with a single watermelon each time. They both have their own health pool. It is very annoying to kill specifically the woman first. So I'm going to do an extra hit on the guy because I missed one there. The guy will just teleport around if he's alone. I missed another attack on the guy. Oops. And if you hit a switch by accident on the top, it can stop the conveyor belt, which makes it more annoying because then watermelons don't spawn. But ideally you want to kill them both at the same time, but if you have to kill one first, make sure it's the man.
You talking about the game or just like general life advice? Because it's a very bad sentence.
I'm talking about the game.
Okay, I'm glad you specified.
Because if the woman's out alone, she'll continue to throw the book. If the guy is out there alone, he will turn into a creeper and just start teleporting and like teleport behind you to do an attack. It's annoying. And this is our first bonus stage. There's no way to skip these. They have falling platforms. They're kind of satisfying and fun to get through. I did this one horribly, but there's no way to skip them. You could take damage, but you don't have HP, so it just wastes time to take damage. Now this is stage 3. It opens up with a closing wall auto-scroller section. You can do this without having to reset the wall, but it's very tight and I'd rather not die. Ideally in this game.
Yeah, death in this game is just like never good. There's not really a good spot to die because you'll probably lose like a minute or more. And then, weirdly enough, kind of like entering this screen, one of the original things in the task that the task actually missed was this little jump here. Bird will go through the wall there, and somehow the task, which was like optimized down to the frame, was like it missed that completely. So it's like the one blemish on the task.
And that's kind of, when it comes to speedrunning things, sometimes it's good to just play it casually, explore the levels yourself. I died here. Oh, I did die.
What? How?
I don't know, but that's kind of like a leftover from the Jetsons, where you fall into space. I need as many hearts for the boss as possible, so I'm gonna take this slowly.
Yeah, this boss by far is the worst one coming up. It's like the fire cat grandma thing. And she basically has, I wouldn't necessarily say like erratic or like, well, I mean she's very erratic in movement, but some of the hitboxes are just, they hit you and you kind of think like, alright game, that's not exactly fair. But there's a legitimate chance that even if you play it well, you can probably die, even if you have, you know, like 4 or 5 hearts. So it's not a guarantee, because she can spawn basically like right on top of you and hit you if she wants.
That's the next boss.
Oh, sorry, this guy.
On this boss, I need at least 4 hearts to do a damage boost quick kill. When you use the little sucking up towards the ceiling, when Ruka starts to fly up, it actually has a hitbox and can damage enemies. So I'm going to use that on this boss specifically. So I'm going to hit him with 2 watermelons. Take damage. And then do that little sucking up attack to quick kill the boss.
We never understood why this worked either.
Yeah, it's, when Ruka starts flying up, that's an attack.
Ah, okay.
It actually works on not the next boss, but the stage 5 boss, but it's super risky to do it. I'm not going to do it.
The guy that shoots like those disc things at you, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, as Bird was saying, like, the bonus stages are, I think in my opinion, kind of like the only blemish of this speedrun. But at least in the bonus stages, you're not, like, forced to wait around and wait or anything like that. Like, you actually do have pretty, at this point especially, like, heavily routed platforming. So, Bird actually went through all of these bonus stages and then kind of routed them like that to be extremely good at something so trivial. But that's all because, again, they can't be skipped.
They are just a waste of time, but at least the vertical platforming is satisfying.
Yeah. Because, like, you can have bonus stages where you're, like, just stuck shooting, or, like, Kid Clown, for example, you're throwing those things, so... I mean, it could be worse, I guess, but...
We have to defeat this little man-baby mini-boss. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I don't remember this being in the Jetsons.
Yeah, I don't think this is a Jetsons crossover. I remember the very first time Kat saw that, she thought it was like hideous, one of the worst sprites ever, so I'm sure she still thinks that way.
Take it slow for a second, because...
So yeah, sorry, I was a stage ahead of myself, but this next upcoming boss is like the Fire Cat Grandma thing. That's the one where it has some pretty janky hitboxes, because again, if you're not careful, you can just get hit.
This watermelon jump's pretty tight, but I got it.
Nicely done.
So Dave keeps referring to it as a cat. When you see it, it's not going to look like a cat, but in the Jetsons, it's a robot cat. So it's kind of like...
Yeah, I guess she's just... Sorry, I guess she's just more of a grandma in this game, huh?
Some like weird fire wheel grandma. It's very hard to explain what this enemy is.
Yeah, no, I used to call her a cat because I remember seeing like a task of the Jetsons too, and it's like this little electricity cat thing. And as Bird said, like it was previously based off that game, but yeah, I guess she's just more of a straight up grandma in this one. But she still retains like the body shape of a cat, which is I guess why my brain just always calls her like Grandma Cat or like Fire Grandma Cat. Because she doesn't have like a normal body, she's just like very feline, crouched over as she's flying around.
I messed that up. I'm gonna take that extra part.
Probably the most awkward part about her.
This screen's hard. I want to land on that cat's damage boost through the fire. It's very hard to see because I'm essentially doing a blind jump and just have to get a feel for how to land on the cat.
And see, the one thing that's really kind of tricky that nobody mentioned in this game too is if you get hit, you just plummet to your death. Like, you don't
Yeah, she doesn't get knocked back. She just falls straight down and you don't regain control on Ruka until she lands.
Yeah. So it's...
So you could... If you could fall from a high platforming vertical section and you won't regain control until she lands. So this is the Fire Cat, which old lady grandma thing. It's the only boss that has a separate mechanic. with this water. This is what Dave was mentioning earlier. She could just spawn the fireball on top of me, and I could do damage. She could just choose to kill me. Like right here, she could just spawn the fireballs right on top of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Even if I'm aiming up, trying to dodge, doesn't matter. And this attack is actually hard to avoid. I'm aiming the water somewhere in between her chin and the middle of her body to try to negate the fire before it hits me. But that also is a little jank, and I could just take damage from it.
Yep, and I wouldn't say it's like she's consistent enough, but I was just gonna say, like, you can probably bank on the fact of at least getting like 1 or 2 hits like there where she just spawns on you. So if you do this really poorly and you take a bunch of hits at the very beginning, it's actually pretty hard because it's like basically up to luck to decide whether or not you're gonna survive. And spoilers, you get to fight her again, so she's like the best boss. But yeah, I remember when we first started this, like, she caused a lot of game-ending kind of like runs and stuff.
So I want to. This is a little mini boss section of like boss gauntlet, enemy gauntlet. I missed it right there. I want to hit the second enemy into the electricity right before it swaps over, so that it swaps it back. Let's see if I can try to at least get it once. No, I'm doing it slightly too late. But it still ended up being kind of quick anyway, so it doesn't matter. Another thing, whenever a screen is stopped like that, you need to pause at the center of the screen before going forward, because if you're all the way to the right of the screen will slowly scroll until Ruka's in the center. Ooh. That was a little bad.
Yeah, usually you can just like run through this entire section if you cycle it, right?
I don't like fighting this boss with 3 hearts. There's a chance I could die here, and I don't know how far it takes me back.
I think there's no checkpoint here. I think you go back to the beginning of the stage.
I want to say you go back after the first fight.
Maybe it's at that spike ball part. Honestly, forget by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the way that this boss works is you kind of use like that weird suction thing to like juggle him at some point. But you can also take hits by accident. And so far so good. Are you gonna go up there or are you stand down here?
I'm gonna stay down here.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
The second phase, I could just throw him against the wall over and over again. I do need to take 1 hit of damage to do this quick, but I'm hoping I don't have to take 2. Oops. Oh, there it is. I knew it. When I did it slow, I figured I was already gonna die. I should have held back. Yep, we're back here.
Spike ball part. There you go. You can show us how to one cycle this little area again properly.
You jump down here. Oh, well, we're doing 3 hearts again.
Redemption arc denied.
And every time you die, you lose 1 max heart and 1 max power. So it's technically going to get harder every single time.
Yeah, unless you luck out and you find like power drops again. That was probably one of the most like critical worst things when we were originally writing this. Is if anybody took like a death or anything like that, like it was, oh wow, this is impossible. Because the boss fights and the boss strategies you develop for those fights no longer work if you're missing like 4 power, like you have 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Like they just don't work anymore. So it was always a little bit awkward.
Really bad now. Okay. I did not think this was going to be the boss that was going to stump me. And it might be. I might just hang back. Oops, I knew I was going to jump through it. Okay. Remember when you said every run, before I started, you said every run has been underestimated.
I literally was telling Bird before this, like, I said we're so far ahead on schedule, everybody keeps finishing underestimated. I'm like, you're gonna be the one guy, man. Bird's like, he's like, I'm gonna hold you to it. We're doing it.
There we go, I took another hit.
That's funny. That's okay. Like, we're so far ahead still that I think you can completely bomb this and we're still ahead. So it's pretty absurd.
We will see. Like I said, I was not expecting this boss to be the boss to go shitty, so I don't really have... I guess a casual strat would be to just kill enemies until they give me what I want.
Yeah, like, I would hope that they drop power, but at this point, like, it's pretty rough. Because now, well, I guess you got one back there.
I'm hoping for a heart.
Oh yeah, you're at 1 health again. That's rough.
Yeah, this is rough. Like Dave said, when you practice this with max hearts, you practice this with max power. And if it gets deviated just a little bit, I'm not prepared for it.
Well, yeah, because now you're at 3 power and nobody has a 3. Maybe that's what we should have done a long time ago, is like route separate boss kills for like 3 power and 4 and 5 or something. But like generally we hit a point where, I shouldn't say I hit a point, but you definitely hit a point where it became deathless, and then you never had to like worry about messing up a boss. Like it just became a reset at that point. So there, I don't think there even is a strat, I guess. Yeah, this game, it's worth noting, like, hard mode is not easy, which makes sense. But the other thing casually is you can very easily get stuck in kind of like these death loops, because as soon as you don't have enough power, or especially the hearts, like the hearts is a big one too, because as Bird said, every single time you die, you actually lose a heart. And you go from 5 to 4 to 3, which means you have even less attacks and less health to obviously deal with like the same boss situation. And you can see that actually in another game called Bucky, because it's pretty infamous at the very end of the game, if you die and you game over, you lose like 50% of your health in like one of the hardest bosses. But it's very similar in this kind of game too, where you just...
I'm trying to spawn a heart card to get my max HP back up to be a little bit safer, but it doesn't seem to be happening.
I don't know if they can drop it, but I don't...
They can. I've seen it happen here.
See, I'm surprised, because I remember when I tasked this a long time ago, like I think it was just on like a random frame counter. But like I obviously don't know.
There we go.
There you go.
So when I died earlier, the boss was probably like 1 hit away from dying.
Honestly, yeah, like if you can kill him that quickly with 3.
But we're moving on! That's the important part.
Yeah, got to see that stage a little bit more than we needed to, but now you know if you're going through casually what to do.
And I'm gonna pick up as many heart cards and power-ups here until I'm at max. So a little... good thing the bonus stages are here. See right here, look, I'm already at max power. Oops.
I guess
and we're at max HP.
Yeah, I guess that's like the one good thing about the bonus stages. Like on a casual level, if you're playing this, it's pretty easy to regain most, if not, of your health and power. And I guess I can understand the developers, like, why they added them in, because casually playing this, like, you're probably not going to retain that stuff between levels, so... Okay, chat, let's see... I wouldn't say Cat Jam, because Cat Jam was the stage 2 one, so maybe like second place Cat Jam. But this
it's a nice chill song.
This is still a really good song, yeah. Not as good as stage 2, but... So one thing that's...
Mermaids can one-shot you if you get too close.
Yes, plus you can also drown here. There's like an absurdly like almost not used mechanic at all.
Yeah, the amount of time you have to waste underwater to drown is incredibly high.
Yep.
It's very forgiving.
It is. And then even like the whole drowning sequence is also very forgiving, because it counts down from 5 and it takes a very long time to count down. So you're not ever really at risk of drowning, but no, right now, she's technically drowning.
I got getting hit by these snakes in practice, and I'm kind of... I still got hit by a snake.
Those snakes are jerks, actually. They're pretty easy to take it on.
There is a full heart coming up that I will be picking up.
Man, look at that champion.
Oh, I got one anyways.
He just like fell from the depths of the earth to try to hit you in the water. Like he had an agenda, man. He was coming for you.
That heart you can suck behind the wall. I normally get it, but an enemy gave me full HP, so we're good to go.
That's a pretty scary jump. It's very easy to accidentally take a hit there and die. And this section is horrible because if you touch one of these platforms, there's like this weird poison stuff that immediately comes up like that and it tries to kill you. So,
yeah, if you do it on the left side, it doesn't spawn until you go to the right. So that's why I started off on the left, just to be a little bit safer.
the game's just like instant death. Like rising, ascending, vertical, instant death. So it's like, okay, thanks game.
So this boss, you can actually cancel his attack if you hit him right before he does it, which he just does a little wind attack, blows you across the stage. You avoid it by going up into the ceiling, but you can cancel it like that by just hitting him right before he does it, right as he starts doing it. Oh, I missed. You can hit him one more time as he's leaving as well. I thought he was gonna die. That's why I wasn't planning on canceling this attack.
Same, like I would have thought. One shot, I bet you anything, one shot away.
Yeah, I feel like he's one hit away. Yep.
Yeah, of course. Why would it not be? Like I say, that had to be super close.
Not like this is PB pace. I'm like a minute away from the PB, or less than a minute away from my PB, and we haven't even entered the final stage.
So what is the best mechanic from 90s platforming games that comes up again and again and again and again in the final stage? Can you guess, chat? I bet you can guess. You have like 7 seconds or probably before Birdman is at the
You've
top.
probably seen like 15 runs in this event that has it.
Yes. It's not a math quiz for us, you freak. What game has a math quiz? Anyway, we get to enter a boss rush, everybody's favorite mechanic. Hooray!
It's not all the bosses though, so that's a good thing.
Fine, partial boss rush, but it's still a boss rush of recycled bosses. You didn't need to fight.
We do have to fight the worst one though.
No.
Our nemesis, the fire cat, witch, old lady, grandma thing, wheel.
Yeah, I wonder why they made you fight her again. Like, they must have been like super proud of this boss, I guess.
Well, the stage 3 boss has like the whole area is designed to essentially go down infinitely until you defeat that boss, so you can't really put that into any stage. And I don't know why they didn't put the one we just fought. I guess maybe they thought, well, you just fought that boss, why would we put them in the boss rush?
So you fight the boss from 2 stages ago instead. Like, I mean, I guess that logic is alright, but... Alright, she's gone.
Now this time, on this boss, it's going to be a little bit different. I can't hit them both at the same time. But what I can do is alternate my hits. So I usually hit this guy twice, and then I'll hit her twice, and vice versa. But the thing is, with the added power, it's easy to accidentally switch it off. And you don't want to switch off the conveyor belt, because then you don't get watermelons.
I think shoutouts to being Yokai for being the only game where you could say watermelons on conveyor belts in the same sentence. Yeah, as Bird said, actually way back with the original boss when you fought this one in like stage 2, you want to kill the guy first because he's way less annoying to deal with. The girl has a very, very easy pattern where she just kind of throws like one can that follows you very slowly around. And this guy is just like a copy and paste from the very first time that you fought him. Maybe he has a little bit of extra health, but I don't think so. I think he's just literally here again for a second time.
That was kind of weird.
And you can still instant death you too. So Bird is being very close to the sides of the platform instead of the middle.
Yeah, and I made sure he actually gave me a good pattern too. He didn't jump in the middle.
The weird thing is, like, he might be the only thing in the entire game that has instant death. He is, actually.
Only boss.
Yeah,
at least. There are instant death in the game.
Sorry, boss, but like nobody else does. Like how nobody explained this guy. We're just like,
you can hit him twice, but for some reason I'm not hitting him twice.
I guess this guy just didn't matter. Like, complete silence when he comes on screen. So there's some weird sections here, like right after the boss fight, we have to climb this wall very quickly, otherwise you get crushed. And then there's also kind of like a scrolling section right afterwards, where you also need to run really quickly, otherwise you'll get crushed. So.
And if I die at any point right now, I go right before the first phase of this boss.
Yep.
So it is very time consuming if I die at any point.
That was a really lucky guess.
You kind of just throw it in the middle. With Power 5, the explosion will generally hit one of them and tells you which one it is. It is possible to still miss one completely, but that's kind of the strat you do. You just kind of throw one up and you hope the explosion hits them.
That's pretty good. So yeah, as I was just saying, there's another weird kind of pseudo auto-scrolling section where you can't get stuck in these blocks, otherwise you die. And this, on, you know, like record or PB pace, is not a fun section because it's just there to kill you.
And you can bonk your face into the wall and just die.
Yes.
What I do is I stagger my R pressed, which is how you run. So I only press R when I jump. So I'm essentially tapping R and jump at the same time instead of just constantly holding R like I'm doing for the rest of the game.
You can explain this one because this is a cool boss kill.
Yes. So he has 3 attacks. His first attack is the sword. I try to manipulate the sword to essentially loop an attack where it spawns these little blocks, and I can constantly hit him and finish him in one cycle. He has 3 attacks. The second attack, he spawns enemies. The third attack, he does lightning. I don't want to see those attacks at all. And now we're on the final phase. He has also multiple attacks here. He does a grab attack. I don't want to see the grab. A lightning attack, which is the one I do want to see. Or the slam attack, which is also okay. Which spawns the blocks that do damage to him.
To put that
this is the lightning attack?
I was just going to say, to put that other boss kill into perspective, because that was like literally perfect. When we first started running
time's at the last, when I lose control of Ruka.
Yes. Yeah, all I was just going to say was, like, when we first started that boss kill, like, that old kill used to take minutes. And then it's just gone now in, like, 20 seconds. So it was a very cool routed kill.
Yeah, doing the little sword manipulation to get that one cycle is very satisfying to do. Time.
29:38.
No, we're under! We're under estimate! The estimate was 30 minutes, we did it!
Yeah, even though 9, well, actually it's like 21 of those
No, you
minutes,
said everybody was underestimate. This includes this one. I don't care by how much.
Just saying 28 of those minutes was in stage 5, so...
Yeah, like I said during that portion, I never have trouble with that. So it's kind of funny that it happens during the marathon run. Everything that I normally have trouble with, like the Fire Witch that could just kill me, went smoothly. So we take what we can get. We escaped Dave's curse. Yes, we did.
Well, feel free to say whatever you want to say.
Yes. So that was Yokai Buster Ruka no Daibouken. If you ever have any interest in playing this or Invasion of the Pirate Planets. Play this instead. You don't need to know Japanese. The story doesn't matter. If I'm being real. But yeah, check it out. It's fun casually. It might be a little bit difficult, but it's better casually than Kid Clown. That's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the run. This is a charity marathon. I hope you all, if you can, donate. And I'll catch you all next time.
Cool. I'll switch this off. But thank you, good sir. Go follow Bird. This guy is really nice. I have known him for over half a decade on Twitch now. That's insane.
Been a long time.
Yeah, dude, we're getting old. Yeah, really good guy. Go check him out.
Thank you, Dave.
No problem.
Bonus here. Oh no, this one more.